You ever find out your whole life been played, like a bad joke you didn't even know you were part of? Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. And baby, when I tell you it didn't just break my heart, it lit a fire in my soul. Now before I get into it, let me introduce myself proper. Name's Loretta Mae Johnson. I'm 73 years old, born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I've been holding it down solo for the last decade. My husband, Earl, Lord rest his soul, passed back in 2016. Heart gave out on him one quiet Sunday morning. Left me with memories, his old radio still sitting by the bed, and what I thought was a pile of debt big enough to bury me. But let me tell you something. That debt was the biggest lie I ever swallowed. And the person who fed it to me was family. Back then, I was grieving heavy. Could barely think straight. House felt too quiet. Every corner reminded me of Earl, his laugh, his slippers dragging across the floor, the way he used to hum old blues songs while making coffee. I trusted him with everything, especially money. That man handled all the bills. I didn't question a thing. So when his cousin Denise came over right after the funeral, crying, hugging me, acting like she cared, I let her in. Big mistake. She sat right there at my kitchen table, pulled out some papers, and said, "Loretta, Earl had debts. Big ones. Loans he didn't tell you about." I remember my chest tightening like somebody squeezed the air out of me. "What kind of debts?" I asked. She shook her head like it hurt her to say it. "Bank loans. If they don't get paid, they could take the house." Now listen, when you just lost your husband, your whole world upside down, you ain't thinking clearly. You grabbing onto whatever sounds like help. And Denise? She sounded like help. She leaned closer, lowered her voice like it was some secret. "But don't worry. I got connections at the bank. I can handle it for you. Just send me $500 every month, and I'll make sure it gets paid." $500. Every month. On a fixed income. But what choice did I think I had? Lose the house Earl built for me? Not a chance. So I said yes. And just like that, I signed up for 10 years of my own robbery. Every month, like clockwork, I sent that money. Rain, shine, didn't matter. I cut corners everywhere. Stopped going to my church ladies' brunch. Started buying the cheap groceries. Skipped doctor visits I probably shouldn't have skipped. Also I could send Denise that money. And every time? Same message. "Got it, Auntie. You doing great. Almost done." Sometimes she'd throw in a heart emoji. Made me feel like I was doing the right thing. Like Earl would be proud. Lord, if I only knew. 10 years passed like that. 10 years. That's 120 payments. That's $60,000. $60,000. Gone. And I never questioned it. Not once. Because I trusted her. Because she was family. Because when you're lonely, you believe the people who show up. Then came that Tuesday morning. The day everything cracked open. I was standing in my kitchen, making coffee, same as always. Sunlight coming through the window, birds chirping like life was just normal. Phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Thought it was one of those spam calls. But something told me. Pick it up. So I did. "Hello?" A calm voice on the other end said, "Good morning, ma'am. This is Ms. Carter calling from Southern Trust Bank regarding your late husband's account." My stomach dropped instantly. Had something gone wrong? Had Denise missed a payment? "Yes, this is Loretta," I said slowly. There was a pause. Then she said something that flipped my entire world upside down. "Ma'am, I'm looking at your husband's records, and I just need to confirm there were never any outstanding debts on his account. Everything was settled back in 2016. I swear the room went silent. Like even the air stopped moving. What do you mean? I whispered. Your husband didn't owe us anything, ma'am. He had no loans. No balances. Nothing. Nothing. That word hit me like a brick. My hand started shaking. Then, where's all my money been going? And that's when it hit me. Not the bank. Never the bank. Denise. I hung up the phone and just sat there. Didn't cry. Didn't scream. Just sat. Because when betrayal hits that deep, it don't feel loud. It feels cold. I pulled out every receipt I had saved. Every message. Every proof. Spread it all across my table like evidence in a courtroom. And when I added it up, $60,000 stared back at me like a slap in the face. That money could have fixed my roof. Could have helped my grandbaby through college. Could have gave me the life Earl wanted for me. Instead, it built somebody else's lies. And right when I was sitting there, trying to breathe through it, my phone buzzed. A text. From Denise. Hey Auntie Redheart, just checking, you sending the payment today? That's when something inside me changed. Something real quiet. But real dangerous. Because in that moment, I stopped being the grieving widow. And I became something else entirely. And trust me, what I did next. Denise never saw it coming. You know what's funny? People think older folks are slow. Forgetful. Easy to fool. And for 10 years, I let Denise believe exactly that. But what she didn't know, I was done being her victim. And I was about to play this real smart. That text sat on my phone screen. Hey Auntie Redheart, just checking, you sending the payment today? Same sweet tone. Same fake love. Same lie wrapped in kindness. But this time, it hit different. This time, I saw right through it. And instead of snapping, instead of calling her out, I did something she never expected. I played along. I typed back slow, real casual. Yeah baby, had a little issue at the store. I'll send it tomorrow. Sent. And y'all? She replied so fast, it was almost funny. No problem at all. Take your time, Redheart. That little heart? Made my stomach turn. Because now I knew what it really meant. Not love. Not care. Just control. I set my phone down and leaned back in my chair. Mind racing. 10 years. 10 whole years this woman had been taking from me. And smiling in my face while doing it. Showing up at holidays. Bringing pies to Thanksgiving. Hugging me at church. Calling me auntie. Lord, the audacity. My first instinct was to call her and go off. I mean really go off. But something stopped me. Maybe it was wisdom. Maybe it was anger turning cold instead of loud. But I knew one thing for sure. If I confronted her too soon, she'd lie. She'd twist it. She'd erase everything. And I'd be left with nothing but my word against hers. No. I needed proof. Solid proof. The kind nobody could argue with. So I got up, walked to my bedroom, and pulled out that old plastic storage box I kept under the bed. You know, the one where we keep all the important stuff. Inside? Every single receipt. Every money transfer. Every note I ever wrote. Neat. Organized. Dated. That's one thing about me, I might trust too easily. But I don't move sloppy. I carried that box back to the dining table and started laying everything out. Row by row. Year by year. 2016. 2017. 2018. All the way up to now. Paper after paper. Proof after proof. My hands were steady now. Not shaking anymore. Because the truth? The truth gives you strength. Then I grabbed my reading glasses and my calculator. Started adding. Even though I already knew the number. Still. I had to see it again. For real. For myself. Click. 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 And there it was again. $60,000. I sat back and just stared at it. That number wasn't just money. It was time. Sacrifice. Missed moments. All the things I said no to. So I could keep saying yes to a lie. I whispered to myself. Not no more. Next thing I did? I made me a cup of tea. Chamomile. Same one I used to drink when Earl was alive. It used to calm me down. This time? It helped me think. Because now I had questions. Big ones. Was Denise working alone? Or had somebody else known? All those family dinners. All those gatherings. Was I the only fool at the table? Or were they all in on it? That thought right there? That one hurt the most. I shook my head. No, I said out loud. One thing at a time. I walked over to my little desk and opened my laptop. Now I ain't the fastest with technology, my grandson had to show me how to use half this stuff, but I know enough. I checked my email. Typed in the bank's name. Scrolled. And there it was. An old email from 2016. Subject line, Estate Settlement Confirmation. I clicked it. Read it slowly. Carefully. Line by line. And just like that woman on the phone said. Everything had been settled. No debts. No loans. Nothing owed. And that's when it hit me even harder. I had seen this before. I had read this before. But Denise came in with her papers. Her tears. Her concern. And I chose to believe her instead. Not because I was stupid. But because I was hurting. And she knew it. My phone buzzed again. Another text from her. Just let me know when you send it tomorrow, Auntie Red Heart. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I smiled. Not a happy smile. Oh no. This one was different. This was the kind of smile you get when you finally see the game. And you about to flip it. I picked up my phone and called my son. Marcus. Lives up in Houston. Smart. Calm. Don't play no nonsense. He answered on the second ring. Ma, everything good? I took a deep breath. Baby. I need to ask you something. And I need you to listen carefully. His tone changed instantly. What's going on? If somebody been taking money from you, lying about why, for years, what's that called? There was a pause. Then he said it plain. That's fraud, Ma. Fraud. Hearing it out loud? Made it real. I thought so, I said quietly. Ma, who took money from you? I'll tell you, I said. But first, I need to do this right. And right there. Sitting at that same table where I'd been fooled for a decade. I made a decision. I wasn't gonna cry. I wasn't gonna beg. And I sure wasn't gonna let this slide. I was gonna build my case. Piece by piece. Step by step. Because Denise thought she was dealing with a weak old woman. But what she didn't realize was, she had just woke up somebody who had nothing left to lose. And in the next few days, I was about to find out just how deep her lies really went. You ever sit on the edge of something so big, you can feel your life about to split in two? That's where I was. Right between who I used to be and who I was about to become. After I got off the phone with my son Marcus, I didn't move for a while. Just sat there, staring at them receipts spread across my table like they was telling a story I didn't want to hear. But it was too late for denial. Too late for maybe I misunderstood. Nah. This was real. And it was ugly. Marcus didn't waste no time. That same evening, he called me back. Ma, I'm coming down this weekend. Now Houston to Baton Rouge ain't a short hop. But his tone told me this wasn't up for discussion. You don't gotta do all that, I said. Yes, I do, he shot back. You're not handling this alone. And just like that. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel by myself. Friday evening, he pulled up in my driveway. Same way his daddy used to, quick, determined, like he had a mission. When I opened that door, he didn't say much. Just hugged me. Tight. The kind of hug that says, I got you. We sat at the dining table where everything was already laid out. Receipts. Printed texts. Notes. All of it. Marcus went through each piece slow. Didn't rush. Didn't interrupt. Just read. And the longer he looked, the tighter his jaw got. Finally, he leaned back and exhaled. Aunt Denise did this? I nodded. I need to be sure, I said. I ain't accusing nobody without knowing everything. Marcus tapped the stack of receipts. Ma, this right here? This is everything. Not yet, I said. I need official proof. That night, we barely slept. Every sound in the house felt louder. Every memory hit harder. I kept thinking about Denise's face at Earl's funeral. How she held my hand. How she said, I'm gonna take care of you. And she did. Just not the way I thought. Saturday morning, Marcus got straight to it. Laptop open. Phone in hand. Research mode. First thing Monday, he said, we going to that bank in person. And then? And then we get a lawyer. A lawyer. Lord. I never thought I'd be needing one. But life got a way of flipping the script on you. That whole weekend felt like time slowed down. Like everything was building up to something heavy. We didn't even talk much about Denise after that. Didn't need to. Her actions spoke loud enough. But one thing we did talk about was how she played it. Because this wasn't random. This wasn't a mistake. This was planned. Calculated. She waited until I was grieving. Confused. Vulnerable. And then she stepped in like a savior. That ain't desperation. That's strategy. Monday morning, we were at the bank right when the doors opened. 9 o'clock sharp. No hesitation. No second thoughts. A woman named Ms. Daniels met us inside. Professional. Calm. Straightforward. We sat in a small office while Marcus explained everything. She listened carefully, typing notes. Then she pulled up Earl's records. Clicked a few times. Scrolled. Then looked straight at me. Ma'am. I'm going to be very clear with you. My heart started pounding. Your husband never had any loans with us. His accounts were closed and settled the same month he passed. Hearing it in person? Face to face? Hit harder than that phone call ever did. Marcus leaned forward. Can we get documentation of that? Absolutely. She printed everything. Statements. Records. Official confirmation. All of it stamped and signed. And just like that, the lie was dead. No more doubt. No more maybe. Just truth. Cold and clear. We walked out that bank in silence. Not because we didn't have anything to say, but because everything had already been said. Next stop? Lawyer. Marcus found one quick. A sharp woman named Attorney Carla Green. Downtown office. Modern. Serious energy. The kind of place where you know people don't play games. She listened to my story without interrupting. Didn't rush me. Didn't judge me. Just let me talk. From beginning to end. When I finished, she leaned back and folded her hands. Ms. Johnson, what you've described is financial exploitation. And based on what you've shown me. She tapped the receipts. You have a very strong case. I swallowed hard. Can I get my money back? She paused. That depends on what she has. But legally? Yes, you're entitled to it. Marcus spoke up. What's the next step? Carla didn't hesitate. We build your case. Document everything. Then we file a report. And one more thing. She looked directly at me. Do not contact her. Let her think everything is normal. I nodded. But deep down, something told me that might already be too late. Because that same evening, while me and Marcus were sitting at the kitchen table going over papers, my phone rang. It was my daughter-in-law, Keisha. And her voice? Confused. Nervous. Ma. Denise just called me. My blood ran cold. She said you've been asking questions at the bank today, and she sounded, I don't know, worried. Marcus looked at me instantly. We both knew. She knows, I whispered. But Keisha kept talking. She said you might be confused, that grief sometimes messes with your memory, and that she's just trying to help. I closed my eyes. Took a deep breath. There it was. Her first move. Not denial. Not apology. Control the narrative. Make me look crazy. Marcus shook his head slowly. She moving fast. And right then, I realized something important. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was about reputation. Truth. And survival. Because Denise wasn't just stealing from me. She was getting ready to erase me. And what happened next? Oh, that's when things really started getting ugly. You ever had somebody lie on you so smooth, so confidently, that for a second, you almost question yourself? Yeah. That's the kind of game Denise started playing next. And let me tell you, she wasn't just trying to protect herself anymore. She was trying to destroy me. After Keisha's call that night, I didn't sleep much. Kept replaying her words in my head. She said you might be confused. Confused? After 10 years of sending her my money? After sacrificing my own life to keep up with her lie? Nah. That wasn't confusion. That was calculated disrespect. Marcus stayed an extra day. Didn't even argue about it. I'm not leaving you while she moving like this, he said. And I was glad he didn't. Because by the next morning, things got worse. My phone started ringing. One call after another. Family members I hadn't heard from in years. Cousins. In-laws. Even folks who barely checked on me after Earl passed. Now suddenly? Everybody concerned. First call was from my niece. Aunt Loretta, are you okay? I'm fine, I said. Well, Denise said you've been accusing her of something, and she's worried about you. There it was again. That same script. Then another call. Then another. Same tone. Same message. She said you might be mixing things up. She said you've been under stress. She said she's just trying to help. I sat there listening. And slowly, that hurt started turning into anger. Cold, steady anger. Because Denise wasn't just covering her tracks. She was building a whole story. And in her version? I was the confused old woman. The one losing her memory. The one making wild accusations. And the worst part? Some people were believing her. Marcus slammed his hand lightly on the table. She trying to control the narrative before the truth hits. I know, I said quietly. That's when my daughter, Tasha, called from Atlanta. Now Tasha don't play. But even she sounded unsure at first. Ma. I just got off the phone with Denise. I closed my eyes. Let me guess, she told you I'm losing my mind? Tasha hesitated. She said you might be confused. That word again. Confused. I straightened up in my chair. Tasha, listen to me carefully. My voice was calm. Steady. Strong. For 10 years, I've been sending that woman $500 every month because she told me your daddy had debts. Silence. I went to the bank yesterday. They confirmed he never owed a dime. Another silence. Longer this time. I got receipts. I got messages. I got proof. Tasha finally spoke. Soft, but serious. You for real? I don't play about something like this. I could hear her breathing change. That moment when doubt turns into realization. Oh my God, she whispered. She lying, baby, I said. And she trying to make me look crazy so nobody questions her. That's when Tasha's tone flipped completely. Say less. I'm on your side. And just like that, I knew who was real. But Denise? She wasn't done. That Friday afternoon, she pulled up to my house. I was in the backyard, trimming Earl's rose bushes. Something he used to love doing. Kept my hands busy. Kept my mind from spiraling. Then I heard it. A car door slam. My phone buzzed. Doorbell camera alert. I wiped my hands, checked the screen. And there she was. Denise. Standing at my front door like nothing ever happened. Dressed up. Hair done. Looking like she came to Sunday service instead of a confrontation. She rang the bell once. Twice. 3 times. I didn't move. Then she walked around back. Of course she did. Loretta, she called out. I know you home. I stood up slowly. Walked toward the fence. Stayed on my side. What you want? I asked. She sighed dramatically. Why you acting like this? I've been calling you. We need to talk. No, we don't. Her face tightened a little. Not much. But I saw it. Loretta, this is getting out of hand. You going around asking questions, confusing people. I laughed. Not loud. Just enough. Confusing people? I said. Or exposing you? Her whole energy shifted right there. Sweetness? Gone. You need to be careful, she said, voice low. People already talking. Saying you not yourself lately. I stepped closer to the fence. Looked her dead in the eyes. I went to the bank, I said. Silence. They told me Earl didn't owe no debts. 3 seconds. That's how long she paused. I counted. Then she shook her head. They must be mistaken. I smiled. Slow. They gave me paperwork. Another pause. Longer this time. Then her voice changed completely. Cold. Sharp. Loretta, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. She crossed her arms. You really want to go down this road? I didn't blink. You stole from me. Her eyes flashed. Watch your mouth. I said what I said. She stepped closer. Voice dropping even lower. You an old woman living alone. People already questioning your memory. There it was. The threat. Not loud. But clear. I felt my heart pound. But I didn't back down. Get off my property, I said. Her jaw tightened. You gonna regret this. Maybe, I said. But not as much as you. She stared at me for a second. Then turned and walked off. Car peeled out the driveway like she was mad now. Really mad. And I stood there in that backyard. Hands shaking a little. Heart racing. Because for the first time, I felt it. This wasn't just betrayal anymore. This was war. I went inside, locked every door, and called Attorney Green. She came to your house, she said immediately. That's intimidation. Document everything. So I did. Every word. Every look. Every threat. And that night, sitting in Earl's old chair, I realized something real clear. Denise wasn't scared yet. But she would be. Because what she didn't know. I had just gotten something she couldn't lie her way out of. And in the next few days, everything she built was about to start falling apart. You know what kind of person gets dangerous? Not the loud one. Not the one yelling and making a scene. Nah. It's the one who gets quiet. Focused. Patient. That's who I became after Denise showed up at my house. For 3 days, I stayed low. Didn't answer unknown calls. Didn't respond to family drama. Didn't even step outside much. Not because I was scared. But because I was preparing. Marcus went back to Houston, but not before setting me up right. Door cameras. Extra locks. Told the neighbors to keep an eye out. And most importantly, he called me every morning and every night. Ma, we got this, he kept saying. And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. Tasha flew in that weekend too. Walked through my front door mad as hell. Where's she at? She said. I almost laughed. She ain't stupid enough to come back right now. We sat at the table and I showed her everything. Receipts. Texts. Bank documents. All of it. By the time she finished reading, her face was tight. Oh, she bold, she said. Real bold. Not bold, I replied. Comfortable. That word hung in the air. Because that's what Denise had been for 10 years. Comfortable stealing. Comfortable lying. Comfortable thinking I'd never question it. But that comfort was about to cost her everything. Sunday afternoon, something unexpected happened. My neighbor, Miss Clara, knocked on my door. Now Miss Clara been living next to me for 15 years. Sharp woman. Don't miss nothing. She walked in holding a casserole like she owned the place. I heard, she said. I blinked. You heard what? She gave me a look. That woman yelling in your backyard the other day? Half the block heard that mess. So Denise thought she was being slick. But she had an audience. Miss Clara sat down like she had time. Let me tell you something, Loretta, she said. I've been through this before. Turns out her nephew scammed her years ago. Different story. Same betrayal. I got my money back, she said firmly. Took time. Took fighting. But I got every penny. I leaned forward. How? She smiled. By not backing down. That hit me right in my chest. Before she left, she grabbed my hand. Don't let her scare you. People like that count on silence. After she walked out, I sat there thinking. She was right. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about standing up. And right on time. My phone rang. Detective Harris. Ms. Johnson, he said, we spoke to Denise. My heart skipped. And? She came in with a lawyer. Refused to answer questions. Of course she did. But here's the interesting part, he continued. Her lawyer offered a settlement. I sat up straight. What kind? $10,000 if you drop everything. I laughed. Actually laughed. 10,000? Out of 60? That's not a settlement, I said. That's an insult. That's also an admission, he replied. She wouldn't offer anything if she wasn't worried. He was right. Don't accept it, he added. If you do, we can't continue the criminal case. I'm not taking it, I said immediately. I want all my money back. And right there. I meant every word. The next morning, Attorney Green called. They raised the offer, she said. How much now? $25,000. I shook my head. They nervous? Oh, very, she said. But they're also building a defense. Claiming you knew the money was going to her. I felt that anger rise again. That's a lie. I know, she said. But be prepared, they're going to attack your memory. Your credibility. Everything. I took a deep breath. Let them. Because I knew the truth. And this time? I had proof. That evening, I got a text from an unknown number. You still have time to end this quietly. Think about your family. I stared at it. Then smiled. Forwarded it straight to Detective Harris. Because now? They weren't just lying. They were panicking. And panic? Leads to mistakes. And oh. Denise was about to make a big one. Because 2 days later, she showed up again. And this time? She didn't just threaten me. She told the truth. You ever watch somebody lie so long? They forget what the truth even sounds like? Yeah. That's what happened when Denise came back to my house. It was Thursday afternoon. Quiet day. Sun out. I was in the yard again, watering Earl's roses. Trying to keep my peace. Then I saw them. Not just Denise this time. She brought backup. Her husband. And Earl's brother. 3 people standing at my door like this was some kind of intervention. I checked the camera. Watched them for a second. Heard them talking. Just let her explain, her husband said. Explain? After 10 years? I should have ignored them. My lawyer told me not to engage. But something in me said, open that door. So I did. Didn't invite them in. Just stood there. Firm. What y'all want? I asked. Denise stepped forward. And for a second, she looked different. Tired. Less polished. We need to talk, she said. No, you need to talk, I replied. Her husband cleared his throat. Ms. Johnson, this has gotten out of hand. I cut him off. It got out of hand 10 years ago. Denise sighed. Like she was tired of the situation she created. Loretta. I think this is all just a misunderstanding. I blinked. Then laughed. A misunderstanding? I said. You took $60,000 from me. Her voice cracked slightly. I was helping you. I stepped closer. You lied to me. She hesitated. That was the moment. The crack in the wall. And then she slipped. I didn't lie, she snapped. I just didn't tell you everything. There it was. Silence hit. Even her husband looked at her. I folded my arms. Say that again. She ran her hands through her hair. Frustration showing now. I needed the money, she said. I was drowning. Bills, debt, everything was falling apart. My chest tightened. So you decided to drown me instead? I was going to pay you back, she shouted. I just needed time. Time? 10 years wasn't enough? Her voice got louder. Uncontrolled now. You had your house. Your pension. You was fine. That hit deep. You thought I wouldn't miss it? I asked quietly. She didn't answer. Because she already had. I thought you'd understand, she said weakly. No, I said. I would have helped you, if you told me the truth. That shut her up. But only for a second. Then the anger came back. Full force. You ruined everything, she yelled. You went to the bank, got police involved, now they taking everything from me. Her husband grabbed her arm. Denise, stop. But she couldn't. They taking my condo. My car. Everything. And that's when it clicked. She wasn't sorry. She was sorry she got caught. I took a step back. Get off my property. Her face twisted. You think you winning? I looked her dead in the eye. I already did. She stared at me like she wanted to say more. But her husband pulled her away. Earl's brother lingered for a second. Loretta, please reconsider. This tearing the family apart. I shook my head slowly. She did that. Not me. And I closed the door. Locked it. Leaned against it. Heart pounding. Because what just happened was everything I needed. I grabbed my phone. Called Attorney Green. She confessed, I said. Did you record it? She asked instantly. I froze. Then remembered. The doorbell camera. Audio. Video. Everything. Oh my God, I whispered. That's your case, she said. And right then, I knew. It was over. Not the fight. But her lies. Because once the truth comes out, it don't go back in. And what happened next took this whole thing from personal to something nobody in that family would ever forget. Let me tell you something. It's one thing to know the truth. It's another thing to stand in a room and watch that truth break somebody down piece by piece. That's what court day felt like. 6 weeks after Denise ran her mouth in my yard, we finally had our hearing. Civil case first. Criminal would come later. But this was the moment everything got laid out. No hiding. No spinning stories. No fake smiles. That morning, I woke up early. Didn't rush. Didn't panic. Just sat in my room for a minute, looking at Earl's picture. You see this? I whispered. I'm handling it. Then I got dressed. Simple. Clean. Strong. Because I wasn't showing up like a victim. I was showing up like somebody who came to take her life back. When we got to the courthouse, my whole crew was there. Marcus. Tasha. Even my youngest, Andre, flew in from Chicago. They sat behind me like a wall. Solid. Unshakable. Across the room? Denise. But she didn't look like the same woman anymore. No confidence. No attitude. No fake sweetness. Just pale. quiet. Avoiding my eyes. Her lawyer sat beside her. Sharp suit. Serious face. The kind of man who gets paid to twist things. But even he looked a little tense. And that told me something right away. They knew they were in trouble. The judge walked in. Everybody stood. Court started. My lawyer, Attorney Green, went first. She didn't waste no time. Your Honor, she said, calm and clear, this is a case of long-term financial exploitation. Then she broke it down. Simple. Direct. Deadly. 10 years. $500 a month. $60,000 total. All based on a lie. She presented everything. Receipts. Messages. Bank records. Then came the part that changed everything. The video. That doorbell footage. They played it right there in court. Clear as day. Denise's voice filled the room. I needed the money. I thought you wouldn't miss it. Silence. I didn't look at her. Didn't need to. Because I could feel it. Her world cracking. Her lawyer stood up fast. Your Honor, my client was under emotional stress. But the judge cut him off. Sit down. That's when I knew. This was going my way. They called the bank representative next. She confirmed everything. No debts. Accounts settled. Nothing owed. Then Detective Harris testified. Talked about the investigation. The money trail. The fake story. Everything lining up. Everything pointing one way. Then it was my turn. I walked up to that stand. Slow. Steady. Raised my hand. Told the truth. And when I started talking, I didn't hold nothing back. I told them about Earl. About losing him. About trusting Denise. About the sacrifices. The skipped doctor visits. The empty holidays. All because I believed I was paying my husband's debt, I said. But there was never any debt. My voice didn't shake. Not once. Because I wasn't scared anymore. Then her lawyer tried to question me. Tried to twist things. Ms. Johnson, is it possible you misunderstood the arrangement? I looked him straight in the eye. I know the difference between helping somebody and being lied to. He didn't ask much after that. Then came Denise. She walked up slow. Hands shaking. At first, she tried to play it soft. I never meant to hurt her. I was struggling. I thought she knew. But when my lawyer stepped in, everything fell apart. Did you ever tell her the money was for you? She asked. Denise hesitated. No. Did you tell her her husband had debts? Yes. Did those debts exist? Silence. No. That was it. Game over. The judge didn't even need long. She looked straight at Denise. What you did was deliberate. Calculated. And cruel. Then she turned to me. Judgment in your favor. $60,000 returned. $30,000 in damages. Legal fees covered. And then she added something else. This case will be referred for criminal prosecution. Denise broke right there. Crying. Shaking. But me? I felt. Still. Not happy. Not excited. Just. Done. Because justice don't always feel loud. Sometimes. It just feels right. But that wasn't the end. Because what happened after that changed her life forever. And mine too. Because winning in court was just the beginning. You ever watch karma move? Not fast. Not loud. But steady? Yeah. That's exactly how it happened. After the court ruled in my favor, things started falling apart for Denise. One piece at a time. First thing they took? That condo she bought. The one my money helped pay for. Sold it. Auction. Money came straight to me. Then her car. Gone. Then her paycheck. Garnished. Every dollar she made? A piece of it came back where it belonged. But that wasn't even the worst part for her. The criminal case hit next. She tried to fight it at first. But with all that evidence? All those receipts? That video? She didn't stand a chance. So she took a plea deal. Guilty. The judge gave her 5 years. 5. When I saw her in that courtroom again, she looked completely different. No makeup. No confidence. No attitude. Just tired. Broken. When the judge asked if she had anything to say, she turned to me. "I'm sorry," she said. And for a second, everything went quiet. 10 years. $60,000. All the lies. All the manipulation. And all she had was, "I'm sorry." I didn't respond. Because some apologies don't fix nothing. They just come too late. Months passed. Money started coming back. Not all at once. But enough. And you know what surprised me? I didn't even want it the same way anymore. Because by then, I had already taken something back more important. My power. Still, I used that money right. Helped my granddaughter pay off school. Fixed my roof. Finally took that trip Earl always talked about. Went to Italy. Stood in a garden full of roses. And I swear, I felt him there with me. I even donated some of that money to help other seniors who got scammed like me. Because this happens more than people think. And too many folks stay quiet. But me? I stopped being quiet. I told my story. Spoke at community centers. Helped others fight back. Because I realized something. This wasn't just about what I lost. It was about what I stood up for. And Denise? She lost everything. Her house. Her marriage. Her reputation. Even her own kids stopped talking to her. Last I heard, she was working at a small grocery store after getting out. Trying to rebuild something. We crossed paths once. She looked at me. Then looked away. And I kept walking. Because I didn't need closure from her. I already had it. Now I sit on my porch most mornings. Coffee in hand. Watching the sun come up over a life I almost lost. And sometimes I think about it all. The lies. The pain. The fight. And I ask myself one question. If I hadn't answered that phone call that day, would I still be living a lie? So let me ask you something. If someone you trusted betrayed you like that, would you stay quiet? Or would you fight back like I did? You know what nobody tells you about winning? It don't feel the way you think it will. See, everybody claps for you when you win. They say things like, "You're so strong. You did the right thing. You got justice." And yeah, all of that is true. But what they don't tell you is this. Winning don't erase what happened. After everything was said and done. After the court. After the money started coming back. After Denise was gone from my life. I still had to sit with myself. And that part? That was the hardest. Because when the noise dies down, when the fight is over, you're left with the truth. I trusted someone who played me for 10 years. And that don't just disappear. Some mornings, I'd wake up feeling good. Light. Free. Other mornings? I'd sit on the edge of my bed and just think. How did I let that happen? Not blaming myself, but trying to understand it. And one day, sitting out on my porch with my coffee, it finally hit me. I didn't let it happen. I loved. I trusted. I believed in family. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. The problem wasn't me. It was her. That realization right there? That set me free for real. Because see, people like Denise? They don't look like villains. They look like help. Like support. Like somebody you can lean on. And that's how they get in. But once I accepted that, I stopped carrying shame that didn't belong to me. And I started living again. For real this time. I went back to church regularly. Not just showing up, but feeling present. Joined my book club again. The same one I quit years ago to save money. And let me tell you, them ladies welcomed me back like I never left. You famous now, one of them joked. I laughed. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about fame. It was about survival. I started helping others too. Quiet at first. Just talking to people who had similar stories. Then more. Speaking at local groups. Sharing what happened. And every time I told my story, somebody would come up to me after and say, "That happened to me too." That's when it really hit me. I wasn't alone. And more importantly, I wasn't the last. So I made it my mission. If I could help even one person avoid what I went through, then all that pain would mean something. My relationship with my kids got stronger too. Way stronger. Marcus called more. Tasha visited more. Andre started checking in every week. Not out of worry, but out of love. We started doing things together again. Family dinners. Game nights. Trips. The kind of stuff I used to skip. Because I thought I had bills to pay. Turns out, I was paying the wrong person all along. Even my grandkids saw me differently. One day, my granddaughter told me, "Grandma, you're kinda like a hero." I laughed. But it stuck with me. Because I didn't feel like a hero. I just felt like somebody who finally stood up. And maybe that's what a hero really is. Not somebody perfect. Just somebody who refuses to stay down. But there was still one thing left. Something I didn't expect. Closure. Because no matter how strong you get, no matter how much you move forward, there's always that one question sitting in the back of your mind. Why? And believe it or not, I got my answer. Not from Denise. But from somewhere I never saw coming. And when it came, it changed how I saw everything. Because the truth I learned next was bigger than betrayal. You ever spend so long asking why? That when the answer finally comes, it don't even matter the way you thought it would? Yeah. That's how my story really ended. It happened about a year after everything. Life had settled down. No more court dates. No more lawyer calls. No more stress hanging over my head. Just peace. The kind of peace I hadn't felt in a long time. One afternoon, I was sitting on my porch, same as always. Coffee in my hand. Sun hitting just right. And the mail came. Nothing special at first. Bills. Flyers. Junk. Then one envelope caught my eye. No return address. Just my name. I opened it slow. Didn't think much of it. But when I started reading, I knew exactly who it was from. Denise. I almost threw it away. Almost. But something told me. Read it. So I did. I don't expect forgiveness, it started. I rolled my eyes a little. But kept going. I just wanted you to understand. I didn't start out trying to hurt you. That line? Didn't move me. Because intentions don't change actions. But then she wrote something different. I was jealous of your life. Of your stability. Of the way people loved you. And when I saw an opportunity, I took it. I stopped reading for a second. Not because it hurt. But because it was honest. Finally. After all the lies. After all the manipulation. There it was. Not desperation. Not confusion. Jealousy. She continued. I told myself I'd fix it. That I'd pay you back. But the longer it went on, the harder it became to stop. And then I didn't want to stop. That part? That part was the truth most people don't say out loud. Some people don't just fall into wrong choices. They settle into them. I finished the letter. She apologized again. Said prison changed her. Said she thinks about it every day. I folded the paper. Sat there for a long time. And you know what I felt? Not anger. Not sadness. Just understanding. Not acceptance of what she did. Never that. But understanding of why. And once you understand something, it loses its power over you. I stood up. Walked inside. And placed that letter in a drawer. Not as a reminder of pain. But as proof of something else. That I survived it. That I overcame it. That I didn't let it define me. Because at the end of the day, that's what this whole thing was about. Not the money. Not even the betrayal. But what I chose to do after. I could have stayed bitter. Closed off. Suspicious of everyone. But I didn't. I still love. Still trust. Still open my door to people. Just wiser now. Stronger now. And way more careful about who gets close. My life today? It's simple. But it's full. Mornings on the porch. Evenings with family. Phone calls with my kids. Laughing with my grandbabies. I even started seeing someone. Now don't get too excited, it's just coffee dates and conversations. But still. It feels good. Because for a long time. I wasn't living. I was surviving. And there's a difference. Now? I'm living again. On my terms. And every now and then. I look at those roses in my yard. The ones Earl planted. Still blooming. Still standing. After everything. And I smile. Because if they can keep growing. After storms. After being cut back. So can I. So can anybody. So let me leave you with this. If someone ever betrays you. Deeply. Personally. Don't let it turn you into something you're not. Don't let it break you. Let it build you. Stronger. Smarter. Unshakable. Because the truth is, you don't really know your strength. Until somebody tries to take everything from you. And you still find a way to rise. So tell me. What would you do, if the person you trusted most turned out to be the one hurting you?